Listen carefully. What if the only validation you ever needed came from within? What if your worth was not measured by applause, likes, promotions, or praise, but by something no one could give and no one could take away? Everyone seeks strength. But here is the paradox. The more you chase approval, the weaker you become. The more you hunger for validation, the emptier you feel. Because every ounce of strength you borrow from the outside is strength that can be taken away. In this meditation, we will dismantle the myth that power comes from others, and I will guide you step by step toward a strength that is your own. Unshakable, self-reliant, free. By the end, you will see how to cultivate an inner power that cannot be revoked, rejected, or erased. Part 1. The trap of external validation. Look around you. The chase for approval is everywhere. On social media, we post not to express, but to be approved. At work, we grind not for mastery, but for recognition. Even in relationships, we wear masks, hungry for affirmation, terrified of rejection. This is the trap. External validation never lasts. It is a drug with a short half-life. The moment you receive it, you begin craving the next dose. You become addicted to the opinions of others. And in that addiction, your true self withers. Understand this clearly. When your worth is determined by applause, you become a slave to the crowd. And the crowd is fickle. Today they cheer. Tomorrow they forget. And so you remain anxious, restless, always chasing, never arriving. But there is another way. If the trap of external validation erodes your worth, then the path to strength is to rebuild it from within. This brings us to the next step. Part 2. Rewiring your inner compass. To break free, you must rewire your compass so it points inward, not outward. This is where inner strength begins. Step 1 is to identify your values. What matters to you? Independent of applause, independent of fashion, independent of reward. When you know your values, decisions become clear. You no longer ask, will they accept me? Instead you ask, does this align with who I am? Step 2 is to set boundaries. Every no you speak without guilt is an act of power. Each time you guard your time, your energy, your integrity, you affirm that your worth is not for sale. Step 3 is to listen inward. Your inner voice is quiet, drowned by the noise of expectation. Through stillness, through breath, through mindful attention, you reconnect with the one voice that cannot be corrupted, your own. Values, boundaries, awareness. This is the compass that frees you from dependence on others. But knowing your compass is not enough. It must be lived. And for that, we turn to practice. Part 3. Actionable steps to self-reliance. Inner strength is not theory, it is action. Here are 3 practices to begin cultivating it. First, journal with clarity. Write down every time today you sought approval. Ask, what belief made me crave it? Then record one small victory, something you did without permission, without applause. This habit unmasks the trap and builds recognition of your true progress. Second, do something purely for you. Choose an activity that brings you joy without witnesses. Read a book no one sees. Create something you never post. Walk a path without announcing it. Let joy exist in secrecy. This reminds you that your worth is not performance. Third, reduce your reliance on feedback. For an hour, a day, or a week, step back from the constant cycle of reaction. Work without seeking praise. Decide without asking for approval. Let silence be enough. These practices are small, But strength is not built in one grand act. It is forged through repetition. Each time you detach from approval, your roots grow deeper. Each time you act without applause, your foundation becomes unshakable. And with time, something changes. The hunger for validation fades. The anxiety of rejection loses its grip, and you begin to feel a power that is yours alone. Final step, the promise of inner strength. Imagine this life. Your choices no longer dictated by fear of rejection. Your courage no longer dependent on praise. Your worth no longer borrowed from others, but owned by you. This is not arrogance, it is sovereignty. The freedom of knowing your value is not up for vote. And here lies the promise. When you stop begging for permission, you step into your true strength, a strength no one can give you and no one can take away. So begin today. Journal, protect your boundaries, seek joy that needs no witness, and let silence itself become proof of your strength. Remember this, external validation is a chain, inner strength is a crown. Imperare sibi maximum est imperium. To rule yourself is the greatest empire.